Hi, this is Steve Markstrom. In this presentation, I'm going to go through what you need to know to get PRMS installed and up and running very quickly, our quick start presentation. The first thing you need to do is go to our website and download the executable GUI and example problems. That's from this link right here. The most current version is always going to be at the top here, and you can see some of the previous versions down there if you need those as well. The next thing you're probably going to want to download is the PRMS source code, the version of the source code that was compiled to make this executable. That comes in very handy if you need to archive your model or rebuild later. The third thing that I would recommend is to go ahead and download a copy of the PRMS User's Manual. That's this link at the top. There are certain tables on the PRMS User's Manual that list the parameters, variables, and dimensions in the appendix. As we come up with new versions of PRMS, we update those tables, so I recommend downloading those tables and their updates to the PRMS User's Manual. Here's the URL for our web page, the PRMS web page. I'm going to do a live demo. The first thing I'll do is go to the PRMS web page. Okay, click on that and save the file. Okay, that's it. It's downloaded. I can go to my downloads. There it is. Cut that. Paste it here. Unzip it. Okay, there it is. This is the installation. What I'm going to do is go into one of the projects. And here it is, the ACF. This is the demo data set that comes with the model. If I double click on this right here, the GUI BAT, you can see it's starting up. There it is. PRMS is now running. Here's the model runner, and I click the start button. There's the model running with the GUI. That wasn't even close to taking me 5 minutes to do. That's installing and running PRMS. I think what I'll do now is just go through the example directory and show you where some of this stuff is. In some of the subsequent talks, you're going to hear people talking about the control file. So if you go into this folder and look at this file right here, this is the control file in the control directory. The control file is an ASCII file, and you can see that there are various settings that PRMS uses when it runs. The content of this file is described in the PRMS User's Manual. Likewise, if you go to the input folder, here's the data file. This is a text file as well. I use Notepad++, but you can use your favorite text editor. Here's the data file. This has all the timestamps. You can see them: year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and then data values. You can see we've got a lot of data values in there. Okay, that's the data file. The other file you need to know about is the parameter file. That's also in the input directory. Here's the parameter file. Dimensions are at the top, and then the actual parameter values are down below. Again, a text file. You can look at this with your favorite text editor. If we go to the output folder, here's the output that was just created with this model, the run I just made. You can see this is an annual water balance summary. That's one option. Here's a StatVar file. Basically, time series output of different selected variables. Again, all these files are described in the PRMS User's Manual. That's a quick overview of how to use PRMS, and that concludes this presentation.